So I've been doing a bit of Goodwill auction shopping. Actually, it was a while ago. It took them a while to ship this package, but now I have this big package. So let's see what is inside of it. It's already in the title of the video. I actually packaged it really well. It's a shame you can't see it until I move the box. Here it is. Okay. There's so much bubble wrap. Only thing that's left is just a little plastic bag seal. And then we get to reveal what's inside. We have a unibody MacBook, and it looks basically like the unibody MacBook Pro. There might be a bit of a difference in the port selection here, and also there's a battery on this side which can just be removed like that, I guess. I should probably have done my research on this thing. Looks like it's been dropped here. And if we open it, there it is. The unibody MacBook. So this was advertised as coming without a hard drive. So we can test that in a minute, and we can also test to see if the battery in here is working. Looked like there was a battery in here at least. Dude, this charger only barely reaches. Oh, orange light. The battery is totally working in here. It's extremely dirty. I'm gonna have to clean that off later, but let's turn it on. It's very slow. I don't like that. It took a good 8 seconds to get the super drive. Might just be because it is without a hard drive, but yeah, no Apple logo. There's no hard drive in here. It is a good thing I have a SATA hard drive. I don't have an SSD right now, so all we get to work with is a hard drive. Yeah, there's the folder icon. Alright, let's put a hard drive in here. Here's our hard drive connector and our battery. It's actually way smaller than I thought it would be. Wow, okay. And this does not have a battery connector similar at all to the other batteries that I have. Let's try and get that back in. It's got a pull tab on it, which is convenient. Okay, let's go get the hard drive. Alright, I brought 2 hard drives in case it didn't like one of them. And I brought my very legitimate Snow Leopard installer USB. So I guess there's not really a disassembly guide, but now I've happened to realize that there's no mounting bracket for this thing. It's just there. So I'm gonna have to professionally get it mounted. Alright. I need to pull out the hard drive again. Okay, here's my best hard drive mounting strategy. Alright, it's good enough. It'll do. Here's our big metal cover. Oh, it's actually, look, it's old Apple. They put a whole guide on how to remove the battery, the hard drive, and then probably the RAM door, and also the rest of the bottom case. So let's just reattach this. This clip snaps back into place. Alright, I don't remember what machine that hard drive was from that I just put in here, but it's getting wiped either way. So let us plug it in. Okay, it's been plugged in, and the light took a little longer to turn orange. I don't know if that's a side effect of putting in a hard drive, but we're going to boot while holding Option to get into the boot picker. Booted way faster that time. Let's see, will it even start reading the USB? There it goes. Okay, I see 3 things on here right now. We have Macintosh HD, which, yeah, Recovery HD. Yeah, I don't know which Mac OS this has on it. If I had to take a guess, it's Snow Leopard, but either way. we're going to the Mac OS 10 install DVD. You know this, the DVD right here, that one. That's the DVD in this case. It's gonna take forever to boot from the flash storage. Alright, here we go. Trackpad seems to be working. I can't really test out the function keys right now because we're just in an installer. Oh, that takes some force to click. Or not. Have we just crashed? It stopped reading the USB. Awesome, thanks. That's exactly what I wanted. Some dirt on the screen. Probably clean that off later. Alright, Mac OS 10 install DVD. Second try. Alright, we're back in the installer. It is not reading the USB. And it is not continuing. Oh, that's what it is. I had to press enter. Okay. I think I see our issue. The trackpad is working, but it is not at all clicking. And I don't know if that's from an inflated battery, because it is way more difficult. It just doesn't click up here at the top of the trackpad. But it doesn't click at all from any point. So I suppose I'm gonna have to get the weird old Mighty Mouse. Alright, mouse is connected. And it is working. So actually, before I do this, I should probably go into disk utility. Oh, I can also see what's in this hard drive. Oh, it was lying. Okay. Alright, at least the keyboard seems to work. Alright, disk utility. Take the hard drive. Erase. Erase. Yes. Alright. It seems to have erased. And yep, customize, speed it up a little bit by maybe removing something. Yeah, get rid of those. Alright, cool. We will start installing and I will see you when this is finished. It is a little strange that this trackpad just doesn't seem to want to do anything, but we can hope that it is just a weird installer issue. If not, the trackpad might have just given up by now. It does still move the mouse though, so we have that. I bet this battery totally doesn't hold a charge at all. It says it's at 1% charging. Either that or the battery was just like completely drained before they shipped it out. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, this MacBook, it looks exactly like any other MacBook Pro from the unibody era, just like a 13-inch one, except it says MacBook on here, and I see a lot of listings on every single website saying that this is a MacBook Pro, and it just says MacBook there. We also are in the era of the glowing Apple logo, which is not a waste of battery. It actually isn't a waste of battery. Like 1/3 through the installation. How is there still 19 minutes remaining? Is it just setting up the installation? Then there's going to be like this one final bit right here where it's actually writing to a mechanical hard drive like this, and it's just going to be incredibly slow. I bet that's what it is. It's what macOS installers did back in the olden days. Oh, our battery's at 2%. This might actually be charging. We might even be able to get it to hold a charge if we're lucky. I'm not gonna risk anything right now by unplugging the charger though. That's gonna stay orange. Oh, I can barely hear the hard drive clicking, just so faintly. Yeah, I don't believe that this is actually gonna take another 8 minutes unless this one part is the whole 8 minutes, because the hard drive's been clicking since like here, so surely it's only gonna be another 2 minutes. Okay, cool. It actually didn't take 8 minutes at all. I forgot the trackpad doesn't actually click. Alright, here we go. Give me that startup theme that's probably copyrighted, actually. That's not good. Here we go. Oh, no, that's copyrighted. That's copyrighted. Okay. Quiet. Okay, we're good. Okay, there we go. Give me a moment while I set this up. The trackpad still doesn't click. Alright, here's our very secure account information. I don't think you could guess the password on it. Oh, the hint in the password can't... Okay, I got this. Sweet. And here we are in Snow Leopard. Just gonna move that out of the way. Our battery, okay. It doesn't say its exact percentage, but that's fine. We can deal with that. We can finally take this very good USB out of here. Okay, let's see this. Let's see these incredible specs. The specs of the future. We've got a 2-core processor, incredible. We've got 4 gigs of DDR3, which is only half of what's in a 2019 MacBook Pro. I'm being entirely genuine, those use DDR3 soldered on. And our processor is, luckily, our processor is measured in gigahertz. Alright, I'm gonna look up the serial number real quick. Let's just see the exact specs. Dude, the hard drive sounds like bubbling drinks. Sounds like opening a fizzy soda. Is it supposed to do that? It's probably fine. It's alright. It'll be okay. Okay, ignore the ads. Here's our MacBook. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it is a late 2008 MacBook 5,1 specs. Let's see how much RAM this came with. See if someone upgraded it. Standard RAM 2 gigs. Yeah, someone doubled the RAM on here. Great, okay. We can go up to 8 gigabytes. Alright, pre-installed macOS is 10.5.5, so it's basically what we have on here. It's close enough. Maximum macOS, though, we can get El Capitan on here. That'll work probably incredibly slowly. We could get Windows on here. Alright, well, let's look some more at the shell. Oh, that does not feel like a good hinge. Oh, that's not good. But it'll be okay for now. Okay, so we got our sleep light here, which is basically just the whole thing that the unibodies had. We got our super drive. Actually, I forgot to check if we had a prize. Do we have a prize inside? I don't think we have a prize inside. Okay then, no prize for us. Oh, I unplugged the charger. Anyways, let's look at this port selection real quick. We got our MagSafe 1, you know, used on all these thicker unibody MacBooks, all the ones that have the whole super drive thing, and also the original MacBook Pro. We got our Ethernet, we got 2 USB, which I can only assume are either USB 1.1 or 2. We got our mini display port, not Thunderbolt. We got audio in and out, and then we got our probably a Kensington security lock port. Oh, and then we got our battery indicator too. 1. It's at 1. I do have some pretty good news about the shell. We are only missing 1 screw, so joyous. This thing also looks like it's only been dropped 1 time, at least. And the shell is poking out a little bit right here, because there's no screw holding it in. Alright, here's another question. The sleep light's still on, so that probably answers it already, but will this thing run off a pure battery? Alright, I'm running on reserve battery power. Yeah, okay. I still don't have the trackpad plugged in. Alright, let's just turn this off real quick. Just put it out of its low battery misery. Okay, now, get a look at that RAM, see if we have anything possibly mismatched in terms of brands. I hear the hard drive having a great time in there. That's also, this is how you take out the top shell. You just lift that up. It's weird. There's our hard drive again. Teeny tiny battery. It's got no indicator on it because it's on the inside instead of the outside. It is an official battery though, so that's nice. Let's see, the guide was on the inner part of the shell. How do we take this off? Oh, we just have to unscrew all the screws. What screws are these? Really tiny Phillips. I think I probably have that. Alright, I've got the most basic repair utensils, which is just this like $30 repair kit. It has worked for me on everything I've disassembled. So, let's see. Yeah, it's just 4 screws here. Dude, these screws are tiny. My camera won't even focus on them. That's how tiny these screws are. At least we have all 4 on the inside. Alright, then we got our 3 top screws. We are missing one, and I'll probably relocate one of these to the edge. Oh, these ones are significantly longer. They're like the same size, just way longer screws. Alright, something tells me one of these screws might be different sizes, but I also might just be going crazy. I think I'm just going crazy. Okay. Does this just lift up now? Is there an extra step that I've forgotten about? I feel like this should be lifting up more than this right now. Okay, that didn't sound the best, but cool. Here's our this. Alright, here's our very dusty fan. As an extra bonus, we get some dust included. I'm gonna get my canned air for that one. Alright, I got the canned air. Oh. Okay, let's just... Dude, there's like cobwebs in here. Alright, that's probably fine for now. All these cables look seated enough. I don't know which one's the trackpad cable, but I might have to find it, you know, replace it, whatever. Anyways, here's our wham. It is official, and it looks ancient for some reason. I don't know, it's using the old Apple font. Alright, here's our matching RAM, which I can only assume is for a far older system with how it's using the original Apple font, or the older one. It is PC3, so we do have matching RAM. That's nice. I can appreciate that. Alright, so the video guide I found said I needed some Y0 screw, or screw bit, and I do not have that in my very basic $30 kit. So my incredible solution here, I'm just going to use a regular Phillips screw and hope that I don't strip the screw. And apparently you're also supposed to feel for some click, or some easier click. Okay, honestly, I don't think I've been doing anything besides just stripping the screw. So, I mean, there's a little bit of change, and I will leave it at that. A little bit of change, and I will hope that that is working. Let me put the battery in. Oh wait, yeah, no, I need the top cover probably, now that I've kind of dusted everything off. How does this go back on though? Does it just click back in, or? I don't like that sound. That was not an enjoyable sound at all. Did I just completely shatter something? I hope that's not what happened. I wouldn't be very happy. Oh yeah, real quick, just in case it fixes something, I'm pretty sure this is the trackpad cable. I'm just gonna unplug it real quick and then reseat it. Just make sure it's extra plugged in. Maybe that'll work for something. Put this back in and try not to make that sound again. Oh, I just need to flip this thing down. Alright then, let's get this screwed back in. Probably use the smaller screw for this. For these smaller screws. We'll actually put one over here in the missing screw slot. I feel like this is not how this is supposed to go. This does not feel like how it's supposed to go in. That might be why there's a missing screw here. Did someone just, like, tear out the screw? What happened here? Over here, it goes in just fine. We're doing incredible, actually. I think someone might have just torn out that screw over there, unless it's supposed to be one of the tiny screws, because the super drive is there. Oh, now that I think about it, it actually might just be that. Let's see, if we use this screw, it doesn't fit, okay. But if we use this screw, yeah, it doesn't just slot in. So, I think that's why there's no screw there. It happens to have been unscrewed at some point, and nobody could find the actual screw that went there. And my best guess is that it's just this exact screw, but without the whole filler metal cylinder part. Alright, now for the really tiny lower screws. I've worked with tinier screws. I've beheaded a 2019 MacBook Pro. Your really tiny screws don't scare me. Alright, we got that back in. We should be able to put the battery in actually for real now. I can't tell if that's in or not. It doesn't feel at all like it's mounted in the slightest. And I can't tell where this is supposed to be plugging in. Do I need to mount it from this side? I don't think that'll work. It's probably that, isn't it? Yeah. It was that. That doesn't allow the battery to go all the way down. Okay. Well, now I can put this in. good as new. I will also do a bit of cleaning. Me and my generic electronic wipes can handle this. Alright, that looks quite better. By a little bit. Whatever I didn't dry off with that cloth is just gonna dry off anyways. It's an alcohol wipe. Alright, I've now cleaned the whole thing off. It is looking spectacular. I didn't clean the sides off though. This trackpad, it is clicking about the same. I barely did anything to help, but I did reseat the trackpad cable, so that might do something. I'm gonna plug this in so it doesn't die trying to start up. Alright, we are plugged in and charging again. Let's turn this on. See if we've fixed the trackpad issue. Probably not. I don't think I seated the RAM correctly, honestly. Die. Yes, I know. Stop it. Dude. I know. Okay, I guess I didn't seat any of the RAM correctly. I probably should have only screwed in like one of these screws. I hope I'm not gonna have to get some off-brand memory. And I also hope that the issue was the memory and not I've unplugged something else vital on accident and ruined everything. Alright, we've got it out again. Just gonna take out the RAM. And we are just going to swap the RAM chips. Make sure all the cables are seated correctly. Alright, the RAM has been reseated. I'm just gonna have it like that for now. Okay, I'm gonna see if this thing's still angry at me. It might be. Okay. Not the best of signs that it happens to just not have made a power on sound, but that might be a thing that requires having a battery in there, and a battery's kind of right here. So I guess I did just somehow incorrectly seat the RAM, but even if one of them was incorrect, it should have still been reading the minimum 2 gigs that it would need to boot. Also, maybe don't try using a physical mechanical hard drive from this angle. Trackpad does still move. It clicks there. Did that fix it? My slight readjustment. Okay, this might be the largest do not try at home, and it probably won't work, and worst case scenario, this will fry the logic board, but we're just gonna, like, hot swap the battery. Okay, I think I need to have the whole thing together to actually put the battery in there. So I'm going to put it back together, and I mean, for now we get, yay, the trackpad clicks things. So there's that, and we're going to use the trackpad clicking things to shut down. Yes, and then we're going to put everything back together. Do I have to motivate it? Alright, well, coincidentally, as soon as I force powered the MacBook off, my phone died, so I plugged it in. We are back. Hopefully the trackpad will click, but also, more hopefully, it's not going to yell at me when I turn it on. Well, there goes the super drive, and it did turn on. There's just still no sound. Oh, it's probably because the PRAM battery is fine and working, and I turned the sound down when I started it earlier. So thank you to the PRAM battery, wherever that is. Let's see if the trackpad will click down or if the battery's been holding it back the whole time. I'm not going to be the happiest if it's the battery, because I kind of wanted to, like, take this thing places and not be able to take this thing places. Alright, well, it recognizes the battery, but will the trackpad click? Okay, sweet. Alright, I'm not cursed. I'm very blessed. I am blessed. I'm a macOS startup disk. The trackpad now clicks. It still won't click from the upper part, but it'll click from somewhere, and that's all that matters. So we've now got our funny little MacBook. We can do whatever on here. I might have to put an application or two on here. Can it scroll? Oh wait, this is a multi-touch trackpad. Yeah, okay. Scroll like that. We can go into terminal, type in a good command. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, this battery is charging. Where's our energy saver preferences? Yeah, show percentage 14%. Yeah, okay. So this thing probably has a battery that'll last maybe an hour, since it's an official one from almost 2 decades ago, actually. We can go into System Profiler and see all the wondrous things of the late 2000s. This is actually a very early MacBook to have 0 FireWire. Like, even the Macs, like all the way up to probably around 2013 had FireWire, but by that time there was no FireWire 400, it was just 800. Like the 2011 Mac Mini, I have one, it's got FireWire 800. The MacBooks from around this time had FireWire 400 or 800 or both. So this is a pioneer of the anti-FireWire. So let us put some software on here, maybe even a game or software, maybe both. Okay, well, some unfortunate news. I don't think I can get any Stone Age games on here. I tried Steam and that just stalls after logging in. So I don't think I can get any games on here without taking another hour and a half or so to figure out which ones to get on here from which websites. So we have Interweb, which is a still working web browser, so we can play incredibly fun games at very low loading speeds, if they ever do load, which, you know, I don't think so. I don't think this is gonna load, but we can go to YouTube. See, here's YouTube, or most of it. It's just incredibly slow, so that's neat. I don't remember any browser games right now, actually, so we can't really play browser games, but we can watch some YouTube. Let's see. Well, it seems to be loading in most web pages very slowly, but it's still loading them in at all. I'm not even close to being on that page anymore. I'm not at all on that page. Silence. I left the welcome page that has that video like 30 seconds ago, maybe even a minute ago. It's still playing. Well, now it's just playing 2 videos at once. Let me reload. It's still playing the video. It's still playing it. So yeah, if I wanted to watch a video on YouTube, it would be just alright to watch a video on YouTube. It's just fine to watch any YouTube video. It's just very slow, and honestly, I couldn't tell you why there's 2 search bars here. It also hurts to touch the MacBook itself. That's just the incredible thermals that are on here. I might have to do a thermal paste swap if it's easy enough. But anyways, that just about concludes our very fun Macintosh adventures. I had to mess with the trackpad earlier while I was setting things up. I have the USB here that should have things like, you know, Steam and Portal from my computer, but Steam doesn't work, so unplug that. I don't care. And that is about it for this video. The very first actual video on this channel. And I have like an hour's worth of footage to edit, so I'm going to go do that now.